Welcome back to RealVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith. I'm proud to bring you another property. This one is in Corvallis, Oregon. I'm calling it Corvallis, Oregon land. It's a nice set of trees in the background. This is the property. There's a power here. It's underground power. Power comes up, so there's electricity to the property. There's sewer just to the other side over here. I can't point that way. I'm gonna miss it. There's sewer over here by the street, and so you could tap into sewer. It needs a water well. The neighbors all have their own water wells, so you just put your own water well in there, and there's sewer and power, and there's a paved road. Let's jump into it. Let's take a look at this one. So I'm asking $315,000 for this one. It's in Benton County, Oregon. It's 0.9 acres. It's two different properties. So there's one that's in the neighborhood, which is a green one, and there's one that's out of the neighborhood, which is blue. The first thing I looked at when I saw this is like, I wonder if I can put two houses there or one house, one or two. And I did a bunch of research, and it turns out the blue lot, it doesn't have the lineage, I guess is one way you could say it, to go through the regulations to build a house there. You can use it as a buffer and keep land next to you, and you could park on it. I think you can build one across the lines and you can use it, but in conjunction with the green lot. You're not going to want to sell one separately, so it's not a price for two properties is why I was researching it. It's a price for one property, so it's one large property. When everyone else has these little tiny properties around the area, you get one nice big one, and that makes it nice. So I got some pictures here. This is just a diagram of like the one lot, but there's a lot in between this house that's here and here in the property. This is a bad diagram. The pictures are just going by. You can see these pictures on RealVacantLand.com. Here's a picture of a walking trail that's next to the property through the woods, some satellite photography, some more pictures of the trails. We'll get into some more pictures, diagrams, shots from above, and do all these different angles. People are always asking questions. It's not 0.59. 0.5 is one of the properties. The other one is down here. So put two of them together in this transaction. Here's the property. So the property's here in the background. Here's the road going to the property. This is a hiking trail. So there's pavement here. You can park here and go look at the property. But if you open the gate, there's a gate here. You could drive through and drive to the property. And I think you'd have to improve this road. I think you're going to want to improve the road another, 50 feet or something to get into the property. So here's the property, some nice trees. Whatever time of year this was taken, there was, some little bits of grass at the bottom. Here's a trail with people walking their dogs, some more trees. There's nice moss on the trees, the sun shining through, a nice piece of woods. So there's the gate here and the road to the property. Some nice blackberries over here on the property. Some more blackberries, trees. There's some deer. The realtor took these pictures. We got a realtor, and she can give you a tour of the property. She can do the paperwork. She can make it all happen. But she was out looking at the property and just took a picture of some deer that was standing on the side of the road. Here's some more pictures of trees and her car and different angles and shots. And there's the power box again to feed the property. There's a sewer line that's like right at the corner of the property. So I think might be the property corner. And then or maybe that's just a flag. You don't run it over when you're cutting the blackberries. But the sewer's right there. There's a subdivision on the other side. I'll point that out too. Why don't we just use that to lead into this? So if I blow this up, that subdivision we're just talking about is being developed over here. And as you get into different satellite pictures, this is starting to get graded. No, it's over here. So there's a subdivision going in over here. They're starting to grade it out and put more houses in, I believe, in more modern pictures. And that was the sign she was just showing. So here's the paved road here that goes to the property. And if some of the pictures were taken from the end of the road here, looking at the trail going this way, and the property's here. The sewer comes up to this corner, and the road is ready to keep going this way. So you just extend it a little bit, and then you could, put a driveway into the property and go do what you want to do. There's a bunch of houses. Each one of these houses has their own water well. There's lots of water wells in the area. I'm sure you can get your own water well into this area. It's not a lack of water. Here's the, yeah, so look at this picture. So when we zoom out here, we can see the neighbor, oh, it disappeared and now it's happening. So these people over here are filling in more neighborhood, and you can see they're adding on a couple different areas. So there's a nice park over here. They just did a remodel makeover of this park. This is called Martin Luther King Junior Park. And there's a playground here that's all scraped out. And I'm guessing, maybe possibly to get permissions to do this neighborhood up here, they did a revamp of the park. That's like your classic sales pitch to get permission to do stuff in the area, right? And so, but this, you can see them grading out. I haven't seen any sales over here of like if they're selling houses or if they're, we'll take a look at this and see if they're selling houses or they're selling lots. I bet you they're selling houses. They're probably going to put, cookie cutter houses all along here and sell them as houses than lots. But our lot's right over here. So you got a lot of development going on in the area. They're making big bets to go, the money that they're placing on building this out. Okay, so we're going to zoom out. So we're on the side of town. Let's do the map. So here's a map of town. This is Corvallis, and the property is just right over there by the park. You can see the park right here's the park, and here's the property. If we zoom in this angle, this kind of map, we can see the park. So here's the park, and that that place I was just showing you was over here somewhere. Here's the new streets and new neighborhood that went in over here. And then we're right on the side of the park. So these trails go in and you can hike all over this area. There's a dog run. This is a dog leash free zone over here. So you can let the dogs run with a bunch of other dogs. And then there's a kids play area over here. There's parking. And we'll do satellite. Yeah, so I think this grassy area here is the dog park. And then this is like the kids park over here. So they have them separated. And then there's some baseball. This is at least one baseball here. I thought there was two. Yeah, here's the other baseball. They're kind of like kittied off of each other. Okay, so there's that. And I was going to pull up. Okay, let's jump into the market. We're just talking about that park. Let's look at. So I got some pictures of that park. So here's a picture above. I just did Google like the park. And there's a picture of like the playground, brand new playgrounds and stuff. Here's some more of the maps. Just maps of the, I think I had it blown up here somewhere. Yeah, here's another map of the park. And so this area is getting turned into houses, but the park down here is still good to go. And then this is where you should build your house. Just like they're building a bunch of houses over here, you should build a house over here. Okay, let's go back. I had the market pulled up. So I've got the zip code. No, this isn't the zip code. This is Corvallis. So I got Corvallis pulled up, and just to keep it simple, I just have Corvallis instead of the whole map. I should zoom in more, but I'm going to zoom out so we just get the Corvallis stuff. Okay, so I've got for sale, and I don't have any other constraints. Corvallis for sale, lots of land. Okay, so just land, not the houses, just the land. We should check the houses to see if that other neighborhood's selling houses yet. And if we pull it up, there's stuff that's for sale right over my head. There's a $110,000 one. This is the newest one that's on the market. This is way north of town. This isn't right on the side of town like I was talking about. It's on a big friggin' hill. You can see out all over the, they probably talk about view. Yeah, mountain views. That usually means big hill, right? So here's a diagram. This is a triangle lot, and you usually get setbacks. I research properties all day long, and setbacks. Then you get this one little weird space in the middle you might be able to fit a house in if you get it pulled off just right. And they're selling this. They say they're selling this one too, but I don't see that one up for sale on the market. So I don't know why. They said it's on the MLS, and maybe I don't know. But they're asking 110 grand. It's 1 acre. It's bigger than mine. It's outside of town, but it's bigger. And maybe that's one you should look at, but keep in mind the setbacks on the pie shape thing. Then there's one that's bigger than mine. That's a good deal bigger, not just this much bigger, but this one is 10 acres. And this one's out on the side of town. This looks like a pretty awesome property, really. 10 acres, $399,000. So they're asking more money than I am, but it's 10 acres. And you get some views off over the area. It looks like a nicer area on top of a hill that probably has room to build, looking out over the area. That's a good comp. I think that's good competition for somebody that's looking at mine. They should go look at that. But that's 400 grand versus my 319. Um, and yeah, so this says properties next door have good wells and standard septic systems. Mine has a sewer. There you got to put septic system in, but it's bigger and it's further out of town. So if you like out of town, go for this one. If you like closer to town, parks and people and stuff, take a look at mine. Mine's the next up in the running. It's a 315. This is the one. These are the same pictures I was just showing. This is a property, and yeah, it's it's listed on the market, and there you go. Then you have smaller properties. There's a couple smaller ones that are big hill kinds of things. This is big hill, just like falling off the hill. 126 grand. 120 grand's a little tiny bugger. It's like a 10,000 square foot lot. These are probably a lot like the lots that they're going to sell across the valley from us. And that's what I'm guessing they're probably making. This is like, if you're a developer, it's more economic to make these little tiny lots. And then if you want to live there, you just, you're going to hear your neighbors and stuff. So this looks like a big hill. It's a nice big hill. I mean, there's houses around it, so they figured out the hill, but it's still a lot of hill. You get to go figure out build into the hill. It looks like the neighbors are building into the hills too. Small lot, big hill. 120 grand. 189, then 350, 250. And so I can go through all these properties, but I think the little tiny ones and the big hills are cheaper. Those are like 100, 150 grand. The good sized lots that have utilities, let's look at, they're sold. There aren't any except for mine. So the ones that are sold, so again, if we go to the sold ones, there's like these crazy hills, 100 grand, crazy hill. It's like topography all over the place. They had to paint a picture exactly where you could build to get that thing sold for 100 grand. The good sized ones are way outside of town. None of them are in town unless you get to, you get these little tiny house lots. This might be, we'll zoom in. Well, I had some examples here that were good examples. They're over here. I know where they were on a map more than, okay. So most recent sales of sizable properties that are still in town, there's two of them over here next to each other that aren't crazy hill that have the utilities. So nice ones with utilities in town. There's one that went for 305 and one that went for 340. I think these are the best comps that I could find. I went through the market, all the hills, and whether they have utilities or not, and I came to these two properties. And they sold at different times to different people. And mine's bigger than this, but you can only put one house on mine. And one went for 305 and one went for 340. So I'm asking 315, and I'm open to offers. So take a look at this thing. Let me know if this is a property for you, and let's go make it happen. So before we do that, I wanted to look at here's the Martin Luther King one, and here's the new street. So let's see if they're doing anything across the street. There's nothing on the for sale, nothing sold. Let's switch to houses. Oh, they're starting. They got one. They're going to sell them one at a time. They're asking $444, and it's a picture of a house. They haven't built it yet. Welcome to Ponderosa Ridge. Offers on builder paperwork, whole blah, 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 blah. So they're going to, they're marketing. They're going to dump a whole bunch of brand new houses into the area on the market, market it up. So people are going to be looking at these things, and as somebody says, yeah, that's great, but I'd rather go build one my shape, my style. I think I got the property for you. Yeah, they're doing shared walls. They got a shared wall, the garage on either side, door. This is a duplex. They're doing duplexes. Yeah, so some people will love those. I think other people will love a larger lot that fits them, that's got trees on it, that's more natural, and you could come build what you want, the shape you want, the layout you want, the color you want, and make it happen on this lot behind us instead of going for the duplex across the way. If you agree, go for it. There's a link in the bottom. Take you back to the website. You can learn more. I'll get you in touch with the realtor. She'll give you a tour, do the paperwork, make it yours. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.